Hi everyone, today I will show you the full step-by-step process of how you can achieve this kind of simple product rendering, and I will show you the full process of how you can go from a 3D model, don't worry if you don't have it, you can download that, over to how to create the lighting, simple texture, all the material, and also the rendering itself. And even if you are a Blender beginner, you can follow along completely step by step. So first of all, we need the 3D model, right? So if you just want to start with the product rendering and you have your own model, or you want to follow exactly along with this 3D model, then you can just download below this video this exported 3D model and all of the textures that we will use in the tutorial. So you can just skip this plasticity part. So I have timestamps below the video. And for those who have plasticity, I just want to show you this little extra section on how I will export that. And if you want to learn how to model this completely from scratch, I also have recorded a tutorial. It's also below this video. As always, you find all of the information below this video. And before we start, if you watch my tutorials, you know I don't care about scaling in plasticity, but if we check out here the scale from this guy here, it's about 16 meters high in my example, you know. So either you can right away model that with the right scale, or if when it's then finished, then you can just scale that down because you don't want to import into Blender like massive files, because also then your lighting and your whole proportions, they will get so cosmic big with the numbers and values, you know. So that's why I just like to make it kind of real world thing. So what I want to do is I just want to go to front view and just create a line, Shift A, and let's just make this line. So just drag a line, press tab, and let's make it, I don't know, 0.35, so 35 centimeters. And now if you select everything and you just deselect this curve, we can scale that so it fits inside of our curve. And I just want to first bring this with G here, so it's touching the x-axis. And now I want to scale everything down. And for that, just zoom in into your small line here and press S for scale and F for freestyle. And now you can snap your first point here at the bottom, and the top point go as high as the highest point of your 3D model. Bam. And now you can scale that down, but while you're scaling, just scale here uniformly, and now you can zoom in, and the top point just snap to the line, and if you press right click, voila, now you have a nice little realistic hairdryer, and just delete the curve, and now we can export it. So just save the file and go to export. And just call it something dryer obj onto desktop and save. And now we have this export settings. And first of all, so maybe, yes, your values will look different because I've exported that already in pre-tutorial. So first of all, go to quartz. So first of all, export it in quartz or n-gons. Most of the time it's fine when you have like such hard surface product design. And I like to go so especially if you're just doing product rendering, you can go as high as you want with your density, because your scene will be anyway like very not heavy polygon wise. And now the only thing that we have to do, or what I do, is you see when you export with a density of 1, your fillets, they are way too crazy dense. We really don't need so dense fillets. So I just like to click here this min width, and then you have to play around with the value, because our object is super small right now. We have to go super crazy small values, but just drag a little bit along, or just copy the values right now. But you will see, so if we go down with the value, now you see we have a fillet with 4 segments, and this is fine. Because if I just uncheck that, so how it was, so those 4 segments will be like, I don't know, like 20 or so, you know. So that's why just min width. And you can also play around with all of the other values to maybe make the circular shapes a little bit less dense. But again, it doesn't matter how many like polygons we have, because we just have one object then in the scene, right? But it depends with the UV unwrapping and all that kind of stuff. But here you will see everything is so super simple. So this will work perfectly. So press OK, close plasticity. All right, so now starts the product rendering part. So let's just create, so let me save this file, just create here a new file, and let's delete everything here with X. And I also don't like this error here at the bottom. Perfect. So now, first of all, we have to import the 3D model, and we will take the one from this tutorial. You can import anything, but yeah, I highly suggest you that you download this model so you practice and can follow along exactly, and you understand what I'm doing here and what happens then on this specific model. And go to File, Import OBJ, or yeah, whatever file you have, Desktop, and I have it here, Dryer OBJ. Just click on that. So here, yeah, we have our model, and first of all, just press A to select everything. And let's just rotate this here 90 degrees or minus 90 degrees. And just with G, bring it to the center here of our world. So just select everything. And yeah, let's just bring it right now here to the middle. Something like that. And Control S, directly save the file. And perfect. So first of all, let me call this collection here design or whatever. And now let's first of all create this simple backdrop. So just create, press Shift A, mesh and plane, and maybe scale this a little bit up. And now press Tab, edit mode, press 2, edge mode, and select this edge. And now E for extrude, and Z, just extrude this a little bit to the top. Press G, bring it yeah, a little bit higher. And now, okay, this plane is in our design collection. I don't want it, so just drag that into the scene collection here. And rename this plane to BD, backdrop. And go here to the modifiers and add a generate bevel modifier and increase the amount and the segments. And now press Tab, object mode, right click, shade smooth. So we have our nice, yeah, infinite background here. We can adjust that. And now what we first want to do, before I start here with anything, I just want to create the framing. So we need the camera, Shift A, and just yeah, bring a camera here, and right away, so you see it's way too big, so just press SS and just scale. So you are just scaling the symbol, so the icon, a little bit down. And now let's just zero everything, all the rotation and stuff. So press N, and here rotation, just drag and so just select and drag and make everything 0. And now with G, bring it to the top and bring it to the back, and also with R and X, rotate it 90 degrees. So it's looking at our product here. And now let's drag one more window. So something like that. And another window, which will be something like that. And here at the bottom right, we will render our product. So also press T to get rid of these icons here. And now here, just click into the camera. So you're looking through. And first of all, go to the camera options and make it 120 millimeters focal length. And double click here on our design. And let's just bring it a little bit here to the middle. And now just select here the camera in the left and bring it down a bit and maybe a little bit back. And let's here zoom in a little bit. And now again, select the design collection and just rotate this a little bit. So we get something like that. So it's a nice angle. And yeah, by the way, also below this video, you find here this original reference image. And yeah, we will recreate here the second image here. So I just want to rotate it a little bit. And we can basically start with the lighting and materials and all that kind of stuff. So first of all, let's go here into the render mode. And so click on this thing here and we don't see anything. And first of all, go to the render settings and make it cycles and GPU. Control S, just save everything. And also just go here on the bottom right and Control B and just select around your framing here. So it's only will render this framing and not everything around. So it will be a little bit faster. And yeah, let's just make it here full HD or whatever you want. And so now we can start with bringing in the area lights. So what I like to do, so what I constantly see in tutorials, but I don't understand why people are doing this. So what most people are doing is press Shift A and they go to light and bring an area light. So far so good. And then they start with G and rotating and bring it here to the top and to the right. And then they press rotate and try to get it right. And then they take this yellow thing, but then they want to bring this light a little bit more down and a little bit more right. And then they have to again to rotate everything. It's completely madness. So there's a better way. Just delete that light, press A, Shift A, go to empty, and here create a sphere empty, and SS, just make the symbol a little bit smaller, and just bring it a little bit to the center of the object, right? Because all of our light should shine onto our product. So we have here our empty and so double click this empty and call it target light. Okay. And now again, Shift A and create an area light and make sure it's not in the design collection. So it's just outside here. And now to the area light, go to the constraints and add object constraint and track 2, right? And now you can here target, you can select with a mouse click and then just scroll down and somewhere you have here your target light. Bam. And now what this will do, so if we go now to the left, and now if we scale, rotate, adjust here our light, you see it's always pointing towards the product rendering, and that saves so much like of this adjusting and rotation. And I don't know like how people can do that. But yeah, anyway, so you can do that if you want, obviously, but maybe just try this one here and I can guarantee you will never ever do it in a different way. In most of the cases it works. I know sometimes you have to position a light a little bit with an angle or you want to light a different object and then obviously you have to create another target light. You get the point. So what I want to do, so you see it's looking already pretty nice, is I just want to create any lighting so any simple lighting setup right now. So I don't care so much if it's correct or not. I just want to bring in some light so we can start to texture and create materials. And then later we will adjust all of the lighting and so it looks good, right? And also the cool thing is, so once your light is selected, if you press Shift D, you duplicate it, just press right click, and the second light still looks onto your target light. So only the light will duplicate and not the target light. So everything stays nice and organized, and I really like this workflow here. Okay, so we have something like that, and I know the contrast, everything, it's not correct right now. That's fine, we will adjust that. And first of all, here, click on this symbol to get rid of all of these icons here and Control S. And first of all, let's start very simple with the top here. So what I want to do is, I just want to, so very often when you do product renderings for clients, right, you have like a product with their logo or like a label, something like that, right? So we have to bring this stuff in. And also here on the buttons, you see we also have some icons. And most of the time, obviously, you will get it from the client. Or if you don't get it from the client, then you have to basically recreate it on your own. So let's just very quickly, I will create here a texture with you. So I will just show you, so you can skip it. You can download also, this texture is in the file where you have everything, but just for you, if someone is very new and doesn't know how to create the texture. So in this part, we just create quickly a texture map together. So you need a texture map. So it's like 4x4 or 2x2K or something, where you have all of the text and all of the icons. So we can use this texture map for our model here and do some very simple texturing. So what I will do is just create a file, and it doesn't matter like the size. I just like to go, especially with product rendering, like with 4K. We don't need most of the time 4K, but it's then super, super sharp textures. And again, we just have one texture, so we don't have to look out for file sizes and all that kind of stuff, right? So just a square, so just a white square. And now, so for this tutorial, super fast, because yeah, it's already taking so long. But here you see we have an Airshot pure like logo and Unix. So those you will always get from the clients, right? So here I just created a simple text and yeah, just bring it somewhere. So somewhere here. So you see it's nice and sharp. I really like that. And now with the icons, so this is interesting. So if we check out here the reference image, you see we have some icons. Again, you mostly get them, but if not, then what I do is I search for them first. So I go to on/off symbol or icon PNG, and then you can go here to images, and then you find most of the time the right icon. Or here the second one, this blade. So I couldn't find something like that. So you can create it also on your own if you have some Illustrator experience or a simple icon. But I just took this random icon here, and then also a temperature. So again, you just type in temperature symbol PNG or SVG or whatever you want in black and white, and then you can find that and just download that and just bring that then everything onto your texture. And I also just want to give them a little bit of space in between, so they will not intersect and stuff. So I will just bring them all just a little bit away from each other. And yes, I know in the reference image we have some more text and also here on and off and stuff, but yeah, I will just keep it simple because it's always the exact same procedure. So just create the same icons here. But once you have your texture, you can just save it. And then I just here quick export as PNG or JPEG, whatever you want. And I just call it dryer texture map. And fine, perfect. So you can close this and you go back to plasticity. And now let's start with the materials. So here at the bottom right, we will work with the shader. So just click on this icon and go to shader editor, press N to get rid of this icon here. And now let's start with the top, and I will just zoom in with the camera and again, Control B. So the render region will only focus here. I will select here this top piece. So just select this first and just click on new. And first of all, let's call it top main or something. And if we zoom in, so you see it's just kind of this aluminium material, and we have a very, very, very tiny small noise texture. So it's because I see it again, like most beginners, they just here, what they will do is just bump up the metallic. And that's basically fine already, right? But you have a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of a texture, and it's in general like this aluminum, it's either brushed, so you have like all of the super tiny brushes, so you can create them with the texture that looks beautiful, or you have like this sand pipe, like sand blasted, or like this chemistry processed aluminum, which always have this little bit of a bump or something, right? So we want to add that, and also here our texture here. So also here we see this rear thing has the same material. So let's give it also the same material, and it's how we do it. Just select this inner piece, shift click this piece, and the last one, this one which has already the material, and just press Ctrl R, and then link materials, and then everything gets the same. Perfect. So in the base color, we want our texture, right? Because we have our white aluminum here, and this is the same aluminum texture, but just a little bit darker. So we just want to bring it into the base color. So go to your node editor and Shift A and select image texture and create an image texture. And this image texture bring into the base color. And now it's purple because we don't have a texture. And just open that texture that we just created. Perfect. And as you see, we see nothing because we haven't unwrapped right now at the moment anything. So let's do this first by dragging out another window. And yes, guys, I know it's a lot of windows, but we only will need those 4, and we always need those 4. And I really like, so this is something I really like here in Blender, how easy it is to create those spaces. And here on the bottom of top left, we go to UV editor, and you just select here your dryer texture, and now you just have to zoom out a little bit. And now first of all, let's unwrap everything. Only select this piece here, right? Because we will just do here those 2 logos here. So select this and go to tab, object mode, and press A to select all of the faces. You have to press 3 obviously. So press 3 for face mode, press A to select all of the faces, and now just press U for smart UV project. Okay. And now you have all of those islands here. And first of all, I just want, so while they are all selected, just press SS and just scale them a little bit down and just bring them here to the white. So that just then means we are not affecting them with any texture, and then we can now unwrap all of the parts that we need. Yes, I know you can unwrap that and then paint the texture onto this island, but in such simple examples, what we have here, I just show you something very simple. So what you want to do is now just zoom in and just select here this select circle and go to front view and go to perspective mode. And let's just hide the camera here in the viewport. And now just select here those few lines. So maybe this one. So here somewhere, right, so we have it here in the middle, we have this Airshot Pure. So just select those faces and just press U and unwrap. Bam, and now you have only this island here. And you can now press R and let's rotate it 90 degrees. And with G, just bring this Airshot somewhere here, right? So maybe we can make it a little bit bigger so it's not so big. So yeah, you can bring it here into position, right? So maybe you can make it even bigger. Perfect. Now we just have a little problem. So it's repeating itself. So go to your image texture. So this is here our texture, right? And just go where it's saying repeat and just here to extend. So then it will just, this white, it will just extend into everything what's outside of that. And we have a little bit of a weird rectangle here. I'm not sure where it comes from, but maybe something with the color is off or so. So what we can do, because you see it's kind of going into the gray, so we just want to make this white. So we can go here the texture map and press Shift A and bring in a color ramp and bring it in between and just drag this white towards the black, and you see it's just getting rid of that. So yeah, it's a little cheat code here, but yeah, works. And also here, so we see it's not black, it's kind of gray, right? So also with the same color ramp, you can select this black and you can make this black just gray, and you see now we have this nice metallic kind of effect. So yeah, we do two things with one node here. So I really like that. And again, you know, I like to work simple. Of course, we could crazy unwrap everything perfectly and stuff, but it's not wrong. If you are comfortable with that, do that. But you know, like I like to take shortcuts and do things as easy as possible if it gives us the same exact result, you know? Perfect. So now we have the first one. So let's bring here our Unix, and yeah, obviously it's just a Unix font here for me. So now we just zoom in, and now we select the other side of those faces. So again, press U and unwrap, and now you see we have it here. So just press again R, rotate 90 degrees, and with G just bring it into position. And yeah, again, you have to scale that a little bit, and I will just bring it somewhere here. I think this Unix looks a little bit bigger. Again, it's just a tutorial, so I will not do it 100% perfect. So something like that, and just press tab back again. So in object mode, so everything looks nice and clean. Control S to save it. And I think I really like it. And now what I want to do is, because yeah, our texture is yeah, correct here, right? Now I just want to bring a little bit of this super tiny bump texture, and you will see with the lighting, maybe now, maybe later, that it will really create a little bit of a better feel. Yeah, just go here to the main material, Shift A, and bring in a noise texture. And this noise texture, we want the factor. I don't know if that's factor. Yes. So we want the factor go into the normal, but it will not be a normal, it will be a bump. So we have to bring in between a bump node. So Shift A and just search for bump. So vector bump, just bring it in between and bring this fag to height, because it's a bump, it's not a normal. All right, and now we have some crazy things ongoing. So if you go here on the left, if you check out the material preview, so this one in the middle, you see, because the UVs, it looks different. So we just want to unify that. In this example, very simple. Just go to noise texture, and if you have the node wrangler enabled, so go to edit preferences and go to add-ons and search for node wrangler, just activate that, because then if you press Ctrl T, you get the mapping node and a texture coordinate, and just bring the object into the vector, and then you see everywhere it's the same texture projection. And now we just have to make it way smaller. So select all of those values and make it like literally 1000 or something. So if you see, now you see we have this super tiny thing. So you can also play with different noise textures, but that will work fine. But now also you see, because the bump is so strong, it's just too rough. So we have to go to our bump texture thing here and make the distance, I don't know, something super small, 0.01. And maybe the strength 0.1. Bam. That looks nice. So you see, if we zoom in, so let's zoom in here into a nice area here. And again, Control B, just render this region here. You see, we are getting this really cool look, but we can make the noise even smaller. So select it and make it even 2000. So you see, we get this a little bit of this texture on the material. I really, really like that. And it looks just much better. But now also, so we have to see with the lighting, but it's way too rough, everything. And also you can bring this texture into the roughness. So we have to see in a second if we want to do it, but just bring the roughness, maybe, yeah, just adjust it a little bit. But you see, so with the lighting, it's not really nice here. But you see, if we zoom in, I don't know if you see it on YouTube, we have this really cool thing, and it just looks very beautiful. again, you can play around with different values. You can here distort that. And that looks actually pretty cool when we have a little bit of distortion here. So you see we are mimicking this kind of the sand blasting or something. But yeah, anyway, you can spend a long time with that, tweaking that. But you see, and guys, I know it's taking 40 minutes already, so when I cut it less, so please let me know right now in the comments if you like it when I explain everything in such detail, or if you want it faster. Like literally just let me know it's okay, or yes, I like long explanation or something, because otherwise I just don't know how I should create my tutorials, you know. But there's just so much to say if I tell you like this whole pipeline of things, you know. Okay, so maybe let's just speed up things. So let's make this front thing, if we check out the reference image, the front thing is basically the same, just with the gray texture. So let's go back here and just select this front thing and create a new material, just call it front. And let's just make it a little bit gray here. And let's go back to our top main material and just select all of those bump nodes, Control C to copy that, and go back here to the front material and Shift V and bring this bump into your normal. So we basically have the exact same material here at the front. And yeah, that looks fine. And now let's do the same for our handle. So let's apply here our textures and some emission and all that kind of stuff, and then tweak our lighting a little bit and the contrast and everything. And then we are basically done. So if we zoom in here into our button, so let's first of all create our main handle material. It just looks like rubber, so you can create subsurface material with massive density, right? If you want to do it like super perfect. Or we just take a super simple material because nothing is really crazy here. And again, it has a little bit of this, basically the same texture, maybe a little bit bigger. So just select this handle, create a new material, call this, I will just call it handle or something, and make it very white. And again, Shift V, just bring the bump into the normal. And let's just have a look if everything is fine and correct. So again, we just have a little bit of a texture, and that's fine. And now we can go to all of those others. So let's start here with the big button. So just select this big button and give it here the handle material. And now again, on that handle material, we want to add the same texture map, and then we just want to align our texture where it has to be. So again, Shift A, just image texture, and create an image texture, bring the color into the base color, somewhere here, and again, open the same exact image texture, and now select the button and the handle, and press Tab, and press A, and press 3, so you're in face mode, so press A. And now, first of all, again, let's just make an unwrap, so we just get the islands here onto our texture. So press U, and here just again, Smart UV projection, okay. And now you see we have all of this mess, and this is what we want. And just press S and just scale this down. And just again, bring this everything to a white area, so we are not affecting anything here. And now let's start with the on-off symbol. So let me zoom in, Control B. So they are in the middle, perfect. Just press Tab to get out of that. And let's zoom in here onto our button, select the button, press Tab, and only select here this front faces. And you see, because we have nice n-gons or quads exported, everything just looks so nice and clean. So just select this area here in face mode, press U and just unwrap. And now you have this thing here, and you can bring it onto your on-off symbol, and perfect. So now you see you can just adjust it. And let me just zoom in here a little bit. And yeah, now you can again just adjust everything and here bring it to the middle. And that's perfectly fine. And yeah, because this takes already so long just do the same. So again, select in object mode this handle and press tab, and only select this middle button. So this will be here with the fan blades, right? So select all of those polygons here, and again press U and unwrap, and just bring it here into the position of your fan blades, and then you will do the same here. And obviously for all of the other areas of our design. But I will just skip it because it's exact same process and it just takes already too long. So pause this video and do it. And now once you are back, now let's just create here some emissive material. So as we have here, so little lamps or something, right? So I have those as a separate object. So also you see them here, LED. So I will just select one of them and go here, create new material, just call it LED. And I will delete the principal BSDF with X and Shift A, just add a emission shader. And this emission shader, I just plug into the surface. So now if we zoom in, and if we give it a nice greenish color and increase the strength a little bit, now you see it starts to shine. So maybe make it a little bit something like that. And now let's select all of those other ones as well in object mode. And the last one with the material, and again, Control R and link materials. So now you see everywhere it's green. Control S, save your project. And let's render everything here. And again, so now you see it doesn't look quite right. And that's because the lighting and yeah, it's too much gray here in this value. So I like this. It's a very simple but effective render. It's like you see it very often in that very simple industrial product design, this kind of lighting, right? But I just want a little bit of contrast. So first of all, let's select here the backdrop in object mode. And we don't need this UV. I will just make this, or just, you can just close that. Select this and add a new material, call this BD backdrop. And first of all, make it a little bit darker. So now I will just do it a little bit how I like it more, because here it's like super simple, everything. It's still fine, but I just want to add it a little bit more spicy, you know. So just make it here a little bit darker. And what I want to do is just press Shift A and light and point light. And this point light you just bring here to the background a little bit. And just make the backdrop a little bit darker. And the point light, yeah, so I just made the backdrop a little bit darker and just brought the spotlight a little bit closer and just increased the power a little bit. And you see we kind of get this gradient. So obviously you can also just make it in post. But yeah, why not? So I really like this. And now let's just play a little bit around with the lighting. So this one I really like because it gives us here on the right just some nice lighting. But I just want to bring it, first of all, make it a little bit bigger and increase the power. So you see we don't need like those crazy 2000 values and stuff. So something like that, I like it because we have a nice light and we have a nice shadow on a cylindrical form that gives us this nice 3D look, and it's like popping. Here to the top, it's a little bit overblown, so you can add the gradient. So I'm not explaining now in this video anymore how to do that. Or you can just assign a different material. Oh, and by the way, I forgot, because in the reference image, you see we have a green stripe here, but just in the middle. And I just want to show you quickly how you can just assign material to specific faces. So just select here. So yeah, it's this middle part, but you see we have already a material applied to that. So we have to add a new slot to this material. So go to slot and just press to top, to the plus. So you have a new slot, and now you can press new, and this new, you can just give it a nice green. And now go to tab and just select here with with face mode, just here this circle, right? So only those faces are selected, and again go to your slot, select the material and press assign, and this way you assign this green new material in the new slot only to this faces here. So then just adjust this a little bit and just makes it really nice. And now you see it, I really like that already, and I really love here our metal material. And when you will render that with a lot of samples, you will see this nice grainy texture. Also, I really like it how it's popping because of this middle thing here. And now just select the light, and maybe you can just play a little bit with the size. So you can also give it gradients and stuff. But again, this will be already way more over this tutorial. But just always when you give light, you know, when you light your products, always give it nice bright spots and some dark spots. This will give this whole thing like this volume kind of, right? Because if you don't do that, but if you would just give here on the environment lighting just something like that, so when it's everywhere a lot of light, then you see it looks like super boring and flat. So that's why always spend some time with the lighting. And if this metal material is a little bit too dark for you, then just go here to the selected material, to the color ramp, select the white, and you can always here just make it a little bit more gray, so it will not be so overblown. So also my last light that I just add, so one here behind this design. So just to add up a little bit of this edge highlight here, right? So rim light, because if I just bring it here to 0, you see it's just fading a little bit into the background. So I just gave it here a tiny bit of light. So we again just give it here some highlights, but again, you can spend way more time with that and tweaking around. Again, let me know in the comments if you like that. But yeah, that looks great. So save it and go here to your scene render settings here, make it full HD and make samples, I don't know, like 600 or so will be enough. Make a denoise and render image here. And voila. If you like that so far, leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss my future Blender tutorials, and you have this beautiful, simple, modern, cool, slick looking product design, and I really like that. And we have some really beautiful texture here on the metal. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. Let me know in the comments what kind of tutorial you want, if you like that it's like so in detail and so long. But yeah, so see you in the next one. Bye.